you can do hard things, but the hard things shouldn't have to be the people who are meant to help enabling abusers so you can't get help. And that is exactly what happened with Milwaukee Wreach Wraparound. And this lady I'm familiar with from a previous organization that she was fired from, Cambridge House or something like that, Cottage House, I can't remember. It's an LGBTQ youth drop-in homeless shelter that I took the kids to last year. They're under the recommended age for it, so I had to say, could we volunteer as a family? Usually you put in like separate profiles for volunteering. And they're like, yeah, come on this day at this time, and we did. And then I'm like, who are you looking for, Jean? And she was let go of that day. So anyway, now she's with Wreach Wraparound. So my issue with T19 and the kind of providers that you are able to access is like the lowest tier. So I've tried to get help before from Wreach Wraparound for the oldest, Big K, and the workers never showed up for that either. So it took 6 months to get started with Wreach Wraparound. Then after you're in with them, you have several interviews before anything can actually happen. You have to fill out a lot of documentation because they take over your insurance as a whole, and you need to go through their providers only after that point because they absorb you being in the program. And then during the interviews for I think CLTS is like a higher level of care, which is what at least Dee qualified for. She did not feel that Kanaya did. And so I sat at my desk and the kids both lied through their whole profiles. And she has had, a friend at Milwaukee Youth Theater, which Tamar is currently in. So I was trying to explain like the issues that we have with his raging and stuff like that, and how I had been told by a psychologist that he had narcissistic traits, chronic disorder, and all this stuff. And so one example I gave that didn't make sense to me because I had fostered other kids was that he was supposed to clean, like his food handprint he put on the wall. And when he was doing that, he would literally cry in anger because he didn't feel that he should be the one to clean up his own mess, even though he caused the mess. And she's like, oh, he's de-escalated, like he's overwhelmed, poor thing. And I'm just like, oh my god, like that doesn't add up. All right, like, yeah, there's overwhelmed, and then there's like the driver. Why are you overwhelmed? Like it's that he felt he didn't have to clean up after himself. And I explained how I had been duped for 7 or 8 years because I thought he was like mentally just not capable, right? And I kept getting providers and services and trying all these different things, and everyone's like, he's fine with us, he's just that way at home. And that's where I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, as an autistic person myself, I think everyone's doing the best that they can, and that is just a naivety, I understand, but that is, I'm just like, okay, he's doing the best he can, so clearly he can't do anything. He's had that treatment for years, all right? So when I came and finally I was like, yo, I'm depleted, I need help, we are not functioning as a family, okay, anymore. And then she's like, yeah, I think he's like this, and one of the workers said, like, you just need to like make sugar cookies together. That'll solve a lot of things, and there's some quality time. And I'm like, I spend every waking minute when they are home or when they're not in the school or when they're not anything like that they have to legally be, I'm with them. Like, we are doing things. Like, you're part of the reason I needed this account, because I finally got to a breaking point of needing like help, thinking I can't do anything else. I've tried everything that makes sense. And then like the worker, like there was this Edwin, this therapist that was from this like really crappy, like rough part of town. And I'm like, I'll drive half an hour each week just for your therapy. That's fine. He was let go from that place. Of course he was hired with a Wreach Wraparound. And so, like that was one therapist he had, where Damar just had him wrapped around his finger, like he was getting candy every visit, like a whole like 2 handfuls of candy, and giving me the side eye. And like, we'd be fine. The whole day was fine. Tomorrow would be jolly. We'd get to therapy. All of a sudden, in the waiting room, as soon as his door opens, he starts crying. And the therapist looks at me and he's like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, I literally don't know. Like, your appointment right now is at 5 o'clock, so maybe he's hungry, but nothing else makes sense because he's had a wonderful day. And getting, like, side-eyed and doors closed on me from people that I said, like, they're not understanding. I need more help. Like, this is not, you're not seeing the full picture. So then, after I already said I didn't want that specific person who put him on our case to be his therapist. And so then I had to talk to your supervisor. Like, why is nothing happening when I'm trying to get help? And you think that you're helping a fish from drowning. You don't know the first thing about what you're doing, and you're causing more damage than anything else. Anyway, I needed to get that off my chest so I can get rid of your card.